Welcome. Hello, I'm Sue Scott, and I'm your worship associate for the day. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm wearing red, orange, and turquoise. Welcome to First Unitarian Church. Our mission is to explore the eternal, nurture community, and pursue the common good. Today we do that by thanking our lucky stars. Thanks to our team of volunteers and staff who make our Sunday mornings possible. And we want to welcome our friends on YouTube. Please introduce yourself to each other in the chat. We strive to make First Unitarian Church as safe as possible. And to that end, we have some announcements for safety protocol. Please note the closest exit to you where you are sitting today. Back, side, and through these doors. In the event of a fire, we will exit the building and gather on the north lawn just past the sidewalks. Please do not drive away until we have the opportunity to collect your name. If you have children in the RE department, do not go and retrieve them. They will be brought by their teachers to our gathering spot. In the very unlikely event of someone enacting violence, please remember to run, hide, and fight. And finally, in the event of a medical emergency, there is an AED located in the main corridor near the front office. Please silence your mobile phones or other devices that might distract us for the next hour. I would like to direct your attention to two events. Harvest Festival is after church today, and you can learn more about getting involved in different activities and different groups. Also, this Tuesday, Interfaith Service is going to be held at Temple Benil, Israel, and First Unitarian has been a part of this group since its inception. There is more information about other events in the order of service, the weekly newsletter, or on our website. We strive to share information. There are many wonderful activities during this very busy season. Staying informed about community life is a shared responsibility. Now it is our brief but spectacular time to greet one another. Amelia, are you ringing the bells? Yeah. Amelia will ring the bells after 2 minutes, so make it brief. Thank you for helping create a warm welcome to our community. It took 4 ringy-dingies that time to get you all back to your seats. After the service, you can continue your conversations in the Harvest Festival at Daniel Hall. For those of you at home, now is the time to light a candle or chalice while we light our chalice here. Patricia and Griffin Grunwald will be lighting our chalice. The words are from poet William Stafford. It could happen any time. Tornado, earthquake, Armageddon, it could happen. Or sunshine, love, salvation. It could, you know. That's why we wake and we look out. There's no guarantees in this life, but some bonuses, like morning, like right now. May this light we now kindle awaken us to the blessings of this day, this morning, this moment of now we share together. We light this chalice for eyes that see miracles in mundane moments. May this flame remind us that gratitude grows not through waiting for extraordinary gifts, but through noticing the ordinary blessings surrounding us daily. I invite you to join me in reading our covenant. The words can be found in the order of service or on the board. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Good morning. I am Reverend Kent. My pronouns that best describe me are he and him. I'm a tallish man with short brown hair and a clean-shaven face, standing in a black clergy robe behind a rather formal-looking pulpit. For our community gathered here, for the spirit that called us together and drew us to this place, we give thanks. For moments we have shared with others, for times when we've reached out across barriers and distance and fear, and for times when others have reached out to us, we give thanks. For our gathering together out of distant places, for our weaving together out of many separate selves into this hour of celebration and worship, we give thanks. Friends, welcome to our time to be together in this special hour. Our opening hymn today is number 317, We Are Not Our Own. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit to join in singing.
Forms us, here the lead
Would you join me now for a short time of prayer, whatever that might mean to you? You might let your eyes gently close if you're comfortable with that. Spirit of life, God of many names, mystery beyond naming, we gather in thanks for this beautiful day to be together. It was a wonderful fall weekend to enjoy the outdoors and to soak in the splendor of life. We're also grateful today for the medical care and loving support, healing our friends, Becky and Bernice, that we're happy to see getting stronger every day. Of course, there's still struggle in our world where healing is not possible. We ask for comfort for those who are sick or suffering. For our neighbors without homes, for our neighbors struggling with addiction and hardships beyond our imagining, may there be mercy and hope. All this we lift up as our common prayer. Amen. And Tim has our time for all ages this morning.
Good morning. My name is Tim Atkins, and I serve as your Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. I'm both big and tall with rainbow glasses, wearing a pink and blue checkered board shirt. Our story today is called Breath of Gratitude. Lee was having a no good, very bad day. He could feel his heart deflating after each and every horrible thing that went wrong. First, he broke his glasses while he was trying to clean them. They snapped right in the middle where they rested on his nose, and his mom had to super glue them together. It was so embarrassing, and he was just so angry he couldn't go get another pair. He was so angry he felt his heart deflate some. And it was so cold outside that he couldn't go play. He hated when it got cold because he loved going outside to run around. Sometimes he could go outside and play in the snow, but this was the worst kind of cold, the kind without any snow. He was so angry he felt his heart deflate a little more. Since he couldn't play outside, he decided to play with his sister, Susie. They didn't always agree on what to play, but one of the few things they both liked to do was build with blocks. Lee decided to build the tallest stack of blocks that he could. Just as he was putting the final piece on top, the tower tumbled down. It was all his sister's fault. He knew it. His sister started crying as he stormed out. He was so angry, he felt his heart deflate a little more. Well, all day long, bad things kept happening. And by the end of the day, lesson learned about the microphone. And by the end of the day, his heart felt totally deflated and completely empty. He hoped that tomorrow would be better, but he wasn't holding out too much hope. Well, that night he had the strangest dream. When he woke up, he remembered a voice telling him that he was going to have a chance to redo the day. He was excited because he hoped that he could turn his horrible, terrible day around. But he also remembered the voice telling him that he should be thankful. Well, his day started off the same. Although he tried not to, he still broke his glasses. But he remembered what the voice in the dream said, and he decided to try and not get so angry. When his mom came to fix them with super glue again, this time he said, "Thank you, Mom," and he noticed how his mom gave him a relieved smile in return. When he said thanks, his heart began to inflate. And when he wasn't allowed outside and had to stay inside, he said thanks for having a house to stay in when it was cold outside. He knew not everyone had a warm place to be on a cold day. There is something special about the places we love. And when he said thanks, his heart inflated just a little bit more. Away from the microphone. And when it came time to play with his sister Susie and his tall tower of blocks came tumbling down, instead of getting angry, he noticed how sorry his sister looked. It wasn't her fault the blocks fell. Sometimes stuff just happens. And this time, instead of getting angry, he suggested they build a castle together. And it was the best afternoon of block building ever. And when he said things, his heart inflated just a little bit more. So all day long, the same bad things happened, but this time he found a way to say thanks. And by the end of the day, his heart felt full. Every time you say thanks to someone, your heart swells just a little bit more. Saying thanks is like breathing life into your heart and soul. So let's try saying thank you together. On the count of 3, I want you to just regularly say thank you. All right? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Didn't you feel your heart swell just a little? Okay. Now I want you to think of something bad that happened to you this week. Can you think of it? Have it in mind? And now I want you to think of something, anything, that you could have been thankful for during that something bad. Now, on the count of 3, let's say thank you again. Got it in your mind? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Did you feel your heart swell just a little bit more with that breath of gratitude and love? And now finally, prepare yourself. On the count of 3, I want you to shout thank you as loud as you can. If you need to, plug your ears in advance. And shout it so everyone can hear you, okay? 1, 2, 3. Thank you! Woo. Wow. I hope I didn't hit anybody back there. Okay, all right. My heart is so full, I can feel it could pop right out of my chest. May all of us remember to say thank you and breathe the love of gratitude into our hearts. The end. So now is the time in our service where we sing our children, youth, and club volunteers off to their religious exploration clubs. Today we have 2 clubs, Art Club led by Miss Elizabeth, where they'll be doing art based off gratitude, and Games Club led today by Miss Jessica, who will be leading telestrations. Now we're going to sing our children and youth off to their classes by singing This Little Light of Mine. We're going to sing the first verse in English, and then the second and however many extra verses we need in Spanish. So please join us in singing.
So I have gratitude for the ancestors. When I think about thanking my lucky stars, I look to my ancestors. The recent Dia de los Muertos celebration here at the church, along with an afternoon of mindfulness, offered by the Silence Foundation bolstered my faith in communicating with the ancestors. I was lucky enough to have both sets of grandparents be active in my upbringing. Our times together included memories of breakfast bowls by Grampy and special recipes from both grandmothers. Letters exchanged, interactive games, and laughter shared are some of the happy memories that keep me grounded. Even though my parents could have been better partners to each other, they were excellent parents. My mother continually searched for religious truth and instilled in me an appreciation for the arts, especially music. My father, Richard Carpenter, was a card-carrying Unitarian and sat in those pews right over there every Sunday with Fred Weber and Bob Hershey. Together, I considered them the three amigos. They were strong contributors to this institution during their time and chose to be in our memorial garden upon transitioning. My parents offered many opportunities for me and my siblings to find our way with gentle suggestions and supportive love. Now when I attend church, sing in the choir, play games, write letters, and enjoy good humor, they are all with me. Along with cherished pets, I have many altars in my home attesting to their continued influence. The picture on the screen is of Orion Nebula, which is located below Orion's belt. This image was captured by the Hubble Space Telescope. One of the greatest gifts my mother, Olga Marie Urotsky Carpenter, gave me was the gift of being in community with her after her death. She instructed me and my siblings to look to the heavens, that she would be the left star in the belt of Orion. There is such a great comfort in that simple gesture. Every morning when I wake and go outdoors to feed the dogs, I look to the sky to find her shining down on cloudless days. I share my plans for the day and seek her advice on any number of things. I tell her she would be appalled at what is going on in our democracy, especially since she thought Nixon was the Antichrist. And I won't repeat what she thought of George W. The other aspect of viewing the constellations is the realization that we are but a speck in this incredible universe. We are lucky to be connected to such a wonder-filled cosmos, and while our part is minute, it is important. I am grateful for waking up every morning, knowing the sun will rise, and counting my lucky stars. I can't ask for more. What a blessing. Gratitude pairs well with generosity. Generosity is a spiritual practice that we embrace every Sunday when we take an offering. All the cash and designated checks are distributed directly to an external nonprofit organization doing good work in the world. This month, our offer supports VOICE. VOICE is an acronym that stands for Voices Organized in Civic Engagement. First Unitarian is a proud founding member of VOICE. Over the years, working together on issues of common concern has been a transformative experience for everyone involved. As we enjoy the offertory music, our ushers will pass the offering plate in the sanctuary. Online, you can make a gift through the One UC website or send a check to First Unitarian. Just write "change for change" on the memo line. Would the ushers please come forward and receive the offering?
How can you catch the sun? Can you breathe when you're on the run? Slow down, my darling. Every now and then frantic mind be still. Take a moment to pause until you can breathe easy. Every now and then, come and take my hand. Your calluses and sores will still be there indoors, away from rain and wind. There's pain behind your grin, so come into my arms. Slow. There are dangers there. I know you take care, but the world is cruel and lonely. Go. Let the flame burn to coal and rest your weary soul to save my one and only. If once you have rested well, you leave less an empty shell. I'll have my glory, but every now and then, think of me, my friend. It's unfortunate that I wrote the words and I don't remember them right now. Think of me, my friend. If here you cannot stay, then when you go away, remember where you've been. And should you come again, you're welcome in my arms.
Thank you, Wendy. We ask you to respond to each statement in this reading with the words, "We bear witness." We people gathered here today on the quest for truth and meaning bear witness. We bear witness.
To the record of human lives extinguished simply because these people dared to live authentically. We bear witness.
To the lives and reported murders of 354 transgender and gender diverse people globally between October 1st, 2024 and September 30th, 2025. We bear witness.
To the lives and reported murders of 63 transgender and gender diverse people in these United States between October 1st, 2024 and September 30th, 2025. We bear witness.
To the unreported ones, unaccounted ones, the unnamed many, whose lives and deaths will only ever be known by the universe. We bear witness.
In these times of heightened anxiety, we who are gathered here today reject the teachings of division and ignorance and commit to siding with love against hatred.
We bear witness against closed-minded ideologies that excuse evil acts in the name of religion.
We bear witness.
Against any administration that seeks to fuel their rise to power by threatening the lives of transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary people, we bear witness.
Against systematic power structures that treat transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary people, particularly those who are people of color, as being anything less than human, we bear witness.
On this day, we who are queer folk and allies gathered together uphold the first principle that speaks to the inherent worth and dignity of every person. We bear witness.
For those transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary people who are gathered among us today, we bear witness.
For those who are allied to the cause of protecting our transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary siblings, we bear witness.
For those who exist boldly, unapologetically, in public spaces as fully authentic transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary people,
We bear witness.
We invite you to speak the names of those you wish to hold in the light. Hope Micah Youngblood.
Blaze Alexander Bale Mason, who was 17 in Aurora, Colorado.
These remembered deaths have not gone unnoticed by us. We bear witness.
Sacred, transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary lives do not go unnoticed by us. We bear witness.
Would you join me for just a short moment of silent meditation? Maybe settle into your seat a little bit and pay some attention to each inhale and each exhale as a moment to be here. Namaste. Amen. Shalom and blessed be. Transgender Day of Remembrance on November 20th is an annual observation that honors the people and lives that were lost to acts of anti-transgender violence. It was started in 1999 by Gwendolyn Ann Smith as a vigil to honor the memory of Rita Hester, a transgender woman who was killed in 1998. This year, there have been 63 reported deaths of transgender people due to violence in the United States. The vast majority of them were low-income, Black, Indigenous, and people of color. The number has climbed steadily in recent years. It is a difficult commemoration. The tragedy is not any transgender person's body, their expression of gender, or their orientation toward others. The tragedy is how modern Western society has vilified people who do not fit neatly into a single category of male or female in impossible standards. The tragedy is that lives were needlessly cut short. At first, I flinched at this recognition in November when we're focusing on gratitude in our worship services. But if we take a deep breath, it fits perfectly. We cannot wait until everything is going well to practice gratitude. We cannot wait until there is no war, no poverty, no injustice, no terrorism. We cannot wait until our own lives are perfect. All the bills are paid, all the aches are gone, the home is ideal, and all the relationships are mended. Friends, that perfect day may never come. Still, claiming the goodness of life is a power that we can still hold on to. Gratitude can sometimes even be an act of defiance, a conscious decision to accept what is taking place in our lives and in our worlds and to choose to say thank you anyway. This week I found that the official holiday of Thanksgiving grows out of that particular determination. Thanksgiving was enshrined as a national holiday largely by Abraham Lincoln and a lesser-known figure, Sarah Josepha Hall. Now, I think most of us all learned in elementary school about the first Thanksgiving. We learned that the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock in 1620. To celebrate their first harvest, they invited the Wampanoag Indians, who helped them survive. But some point out that feasting in the fall is nothing new. In most agricultural societies throughout history, it was common to hold feasts to celebrate the harvest, and some suggest that that's kind of what the Pilgrims were doing, something that they had been doing in Europe for many, many centuries. And if we're concerned about firsts here in the United States, the actual first Thanksgiving took place about 150 miles from here, in Palo Duro Canyon, Texas. On May 23rd, 1541, 80 years before the Pilgrim Feast, Francisco Vasquez de Coronado and the Teja Indians joined together to share their bounty in a feast. We didn't learn about that one in elementary school. Those were certainly hard times. The national holiday carved out for gratitude also emerged under difficult circumstances. In the depths of the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln issued a series of proclamations over consecutive years establishing the federal holiday. In July 1863, the Battle of Gettysburg resulted in more than 50,000 American casualties. It was arguably the worst year in American history. With the victory of Gettysburg in mind, in October of 1863, Lincoln issued a proclamation. I'm usually not one on reading long things with sort of archaic, thick language, but this so well applies to today, so I want to read it. Lincoln said, "I do therefore invite my fellow citizens in every part of the United States to set apart and observe the last Thursday of November next as a day of thanksgiving. And I recommend to them that while offering up the ascriptions justly due to God, that they also, with humble penitence for our national perverseness and disobedience, commend to his tender care all those who have become widows, orphans, mourners, and sufferers in the lamentable civil strife in which we are unavoidably engaged, and fervently implore the interposition of the Almighty hand to heal the wounds of the nation and to restore it as soon as may be consistent with divine purpose to the full enjoyment of peace, harmony, tranquility, and unity." Too often, we assume traditions are inherently conservative or retrograde. Thanksgiving, at least the national holiday, originated from forward-thinking people of action, people who also found the depth of an open heart and gratitude in the midst of tremendous hardship. For those of us feeling a sting of resentment, loss, or unfairness this year, perhaps you might think of engaging gratitude as defiance, as acknowledgement, as saying, yes, I know this life is not all I had hoped, all I wanted, but I can find a way to see the goodness anyway. Gratitude anyway, rising up through fear or anger. By the way, as Lincoln issued that proclamation, 3 of his 4 sons had already died before that year. We cannot afford to wait until all is right with the world to affirm the goodness of life. In fact, summoning gratitude can be a powerful form of resistance. For some Unitarian Universalists, another stumbling block in our sense of gratitude is the question, to whom? Who do I thank for this goodness in my life? Every spring, when tornado season rolls around, we hear comments from political officials and professions of faith. When natural disasters hit, survivors often publicly thank God that their homes and their lives were spared. There's no doubt that those individuals and their loved ones are relieved and grateful. However, when they thank God for sparing their lives, it raises for some of us the natural question, what did God think of your neighbor who was devastated? In traditional theological language, this is called theodicy, or the problem of evil. If God is good, why do bad things happen to good people? And there are a handful of possible answers to that. None of them are entirely satisfying. I took a whole class on theodicy in seminary to answer that one question. Bad things happen to good people. And I want to invite us to let that question go for a bit. Good things happen to everyone. Wonderful, beautiful, miraculous gifts have been bestowed on every person in this room. I promise, in another sermon, we will get to the why do bad things happen to good people. Today, I am less interested in why bad things happen to good people and more interested in the question, why do good things happen to all sorts of people? All of us, if we spend a few minutes, can think of a few good things that we didn't earn. But who are we supposed to be grateful for? Some of us might be grateful for parents or spouses or friends or other generous people. Even more than other people, all of us have reason to thank our lucky stars for a few pieces of our lives that just turned out the way that they did. In a small group discussion earlier this month about gratitude, 2 couples were there. Each of them had been married for decades, spoke about their gratitude for being in the same place at the same time and meeting each other. The coincidence of that moment fundamentally shaped their lives. I shared with the group the story of my narrowly escaping drowning as a small child. I don't even remember it, that's how young I was. I'm told that there I was in the bottom of the pool with the neighbor kid looking down at me. If my mom hadn't poked her head out the window at that moment, my family's history and story might be very, very different. We all have chance moments. Some are big, some are small. Here in Oklahoma, we tend to call them blessings. Here's the secret I want to let you in on today. There doesn't have to be a bestower of those blessings to feel real gratitude. Gratitude is an absolutely transformational perspective. We don't have to have worked out every theological detail to thank our lucky stars for the goodness of life. In 2024, our UU faith tradition made some major shifts in our guiding document. You may remember this. We shifted from 7 principles that had been established for a few decades to 7 values. It was a years-long process involving innumerable conversations and debates and discernment and votes. In the end, we landed on 7 values: love, justice, equanimity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. There were a lot of suggestions for more values that should have been added to the list. One of the values under consideration was gratitude. I learned this week that there was a lot of debate about having room for gratitude or not. But it was believed that gratitude is the foundation of generosity. And since generosity is an active value, it's inspiring action in the world, that would serve as a stand-in and perhaps a higher value than gratitude. I'm not sure where that lands with me, but I say all that to remind you and to remind myself that when we name generosity in our values, we're also naming gratitude in that list. I also appreciate their exploration of the response to the feeling of gratitude. Too often we're lured into thinking the best response to gratitude is reciprocity. I give back what I have been given, and I give it to whoever gave it to me. Focusing on generosity rather than reciprocity broadens our response beyond a transactional two-party relationship to a fuller web of responding to the bounty we share. In her essay, Reciprocity, Sabrina Meherly invites us to move beyond reciprocity of direct exchange and into a web of care, where what we receive in one place informs how we give in another. She boils it down to the question, she says, the question is not what I can give back, but how will I move differently because of what I have received? To illustrate that sense of gratitude and expansion of giving, Robin Wall Kimmerer tells a story. She says that when the linguist Daniel Everett was learning from a hunter-gatherer community in the Brazilian rainforest, he observed a hunter that had brought home a sizable kill, too big to be eaten by just one family. Everett asked how he would store the excess meat. Smoking and drying techniques were well known. Storing the meat was possible. The hunter was puzzled by the question. Store my meat? Why would I do that? Instead, he sent an invitation to feast, and soon the neighboring families were gathered around his fire. This seemed inefficient to the researcher Everett, who asked him again, why didn't the hunter store the meat himself for later? Which is what the economic system and the researcher's home culture would suggest. Store my meat? I store my meat in the belly of my brother, replied the hunter. The question is not, what can I give back? But how will I move differently because I have received? We respond to our good fortune in our living. Some piece of that good fortune comes in the form of privilege. Most of us have access to systemic privilege through belonging to the dominant culture in some way. That may include being white or male or able-bodied or neurotypical or heterosexual or cisgendered or upper class or U.S. citizens or probably a few other privileges that I probably carry and am not even aware of. Now, gratitude doesn't quite seem like the right word. Being grateful for our privileges implies that we're pleased with a system that values some humans more than others. We're not grateful for these privileges, but we certainly recognize them. When we pay attention, each day offers new lessons in how we can live in ways that respond. Several hundred years ago, Meister Eckhart famously said that if the only prayer we ever learn to say is thank you, it will be enough. And it seems that people are plugging into that. More and more I hear of people writing gratitude journals, taking a little time regularly, maybe once a day or once a week, to write what they're thankful for. And many families, at least in the movies I see, many families take a moment before their Thanksgiving meal to say what each person is thankful for that year. I take a simpler approach. I try, before I get out of bed in the morning to identify 3 things that I am genuinely thankful for. There's no one to perform for. I don't have to say in front of the Thanksgiving table surrounded by family that I am so grateful for my family. It's not like that. It's a moment to pause and see what I genuinely feel thankful for. They're often the same things on that list. My general good health and capable body show up regularly. Other times I'm thankful for life opportunities, for some economic stability, for the opportunity to follow my calling as a career. Sometimes I'm grateful for good weather, or a comfortable home, or a comfortable bed, or a good night's sleep. It can be very simple. It is my most reliable form of prayer. In the morning, to get myself out of bed, or in the evening, when sleep is elusive, I think of a few things that I honestly feel grateful for. There's something to be said for structure and routine and spiritual practice. So I ask, do you have a structure for engaging gratitude? Save the to whom question and the theological debate for another time. For this shortest and most sincere of prayers, when, where, and how do you say thank you for the abundance of life? Amen. Our closing hymn today is in your gray hymnals. It's number 22, Dear Weaver of Our Lives' Design. Kate is going to play this all the way through for us once before we join in singing. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
We extinguish our chalice flame, but not the light of love and community which burns in our hearts.
May we go forth from our gathering, thankful for the life that sustains and renews, and open to the grace that surrounds and surprises us. As we go forth with gratitude and openness to this tremendous life. Friends, go in peace. Let the light within you be a blessing to the world.